investment opportunities in DeFi and NFT.
Hi guys, so can we have on stage please Davul Parikh, Vinny Lee, Anndy Lian from BigONE, and Martin Bellebrad, partner at Metrics Capital, please.
Hello. Thank you so much, guys, for attending. And thank you so much for the panel attendees for who is coming here and giving us a great insight into the investment side of the things from the DeFi and the NFT side of the things. My name is Davul Parikh. I'm the fund partner for New Tribe Capital. We have been investing in the early stage projects since 2019. Today we are here to discuss about the topic investment opportunities in DeFi and NFT. Personally, we have seen quite a good shift from the DeFi side of the things. In December, the whole focus went to the metaverse gaming, and now the DeFi is coming back into the play. And the same for NFT. NFT boom, we have all seen how it has changed in the last few months. So we have got great panelists over here. We would love to pick their brain. Welcome, guys. I would love to get some introduction from you guys. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Martin Bellebrad, I am partner in Metrics Capital. I am in crypto from 2013, so I started when it was only Bitcoin. And we are investing mostly into gaming, DeFi, and NFT projects. And what is my specialization is mostly DeFi, farming, and staking. I'm doing it for 3 years for ourselves and also for my own capital.
Hi, my name is Anndy Lian. I'm the chairman of a BigONE exchange. So we have been around since 2017, currently ranked top 40 on CoinMarketCap. So for myself, I give a lot of advice to government. I'm a very active investor as well. We have funds that have about 500 million AUM, and we are continuing building and trying our very best to build the ecosystem and bringing more good projects into the space. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vinny Lee, founder of CRT Labs. We do a lot of data aggregation. We're early investors since 2017, lead investors in a lot of old projects such as Celsius.
Amazing. I've worked personally with all of you guys, and I believe you guys are really adding a lot of value within all the sectors, not just within the DeFi and NFT within this space. Love the value add that you bring to the projects as well. Specifically talking about DeFi and NFT today, really want to understand, right? If a project comes to you, which is in the DeFi space especially, what are the things, what are the important parts that attracts you as a VC firm? What would you say, Martin?
For me, it's the yield, of course, because I like farming and staking.
Right.
And now, especially in these inflationary times, it's very important to get at least the yield from at least the stable coins more than inflation. Official numbers are from 7 to 10%. So it's very interesting to get more percent, especially in this, we are quite defensive at the moment.
Yeah.
We are not very bullish, but we are also farming a lot, using many chains and many protocols for that.
Sure. And Andy, for you, on the NFT side, what would attract you the most?
For NFTs?
Yeah, for the NFT.
Sure. I think NFT right now there's a good trend. Big companies are coming in.
Yeah.
Crypto companies are trying to build a good relationship with them. So the things that I look at, in terms of NFT is what kind of IP do they have, and then the second part is what kind of community do they have. So whenever you look at NFT, the market to many people it is like a huge bubble.
Yeah.
But for investors like us, we look at the underlying value, underlying asset, which is the community. If there is community, there is a good use case, for example, a good game, for example, using the NFT, it's something for us to really consider, man.
Completely makes sense. And Vinny, what have you seen in the market lately, and what's the attractive factors within the DeFi and the NFT space?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with Andy. If we're talking about NFTs, the only real use case is community. That's by far the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think in DeFi, it is a little bit of a lull at the moment because there is a lot of competition across all the core middle ecosystem projects. So yeah, I think that really difficult to make much of an assessment right now. Most of the tier one funds that we work with are scaled back investments in a lot of those areas,
Yeah.
especially GameFi, Metaverse especially.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's such an important point as well, right, what you're making. And we have seen the shift, like from the DeFi. No one wanted to touch a lot of DeFi projects in November or December. And now comes the phase where a lot of people, especially the projects which are building on the infrastructure side of the things. And same goes for the NFTs as well, right? We have seen the boom where NFTs have doubled overnight. And a lot of other marketplaces have come into the picture which were never existence. So as a new investors or the VC funds who are coming into the market, what would be the advice you guys will give as a VC fund? Like, what should they be careful about and how should they approach the investment side of the things in this DeFi space?
For me, it's like the rule number one, never lose the money. And the rule number two is remember the rule number one, so.
That's perfect.
So it's like, you should know what you are doing, you should not buy stupid Apex, on OpenSea and thinking that during the night you will be double or triple, in the price. If you don't understand what you are doing, then probably you will lose money, It's same for NFT, same for DeFi, for whatever, any coin, And now, especially I think it's like good time to study and good time to build,
Yeah.
Because the TGE of the many projects who are coming on the market are very low now. So also the VCs, we are maybe losing money, that we are getting 30% of any project and TGE is like 2 weeks, we have to wait how many months or years to get back anything,
Yeah.
So maybe it will go under the price very soon, but it was good year, the last year.
Yes.
This one will be very hard, so it should be like that, we should get to see in the mirror what we are really doing,
Analysis is key. No, that's for sure. And from your point of view, Andy, what would be the advice you would give?
I think for new VCs, they got to be very careful. There's a lot of honeypots. There's some traps, for them to go in. But most importantly, as a VC, a new one, you must believe in the vision. If you're going to invest in a project, you must believe in the vision. You must know what exactly the project is trying to achieve, short term and long term. And again, if they have a nice, for example, if you're talking about just in general projects, and apart from looking at the community, I also like to look at the use case, the technology, and on top of that, we want to see good liquidity, because a lot of projects out there, they have very good products, but they do not have a good revenue stream, for example. They do not have a very clear income stream. So then it becomes a project that is not going to be sustainable. So new VCs, whether they are in Dubai or whether, if they are in Singapore, they should really look at the details.
Very important point. So from Martin's point of view, it's more on the analysis. You're having the right narrative, making sure that the projects are actually bringing the right token utility. What would you say, Vinny? What would you look at before going for a project in DeFi?
Yeah, so the thing about cryptocurrency industry, it's all relationship based. And even a lot of people don't know that the entire industry is controlled by all the cartels in crypto, right? All the big tier ones all have their own cartels. And if you're not with them, it's basically impossible to get allocations at a good round or a good valuation. So it's really about networking and trying to build up relationships with any of the top 100 funds in the world. But I do believe if you're coming in as a VC, probably this is the last year that it'll be possible to penetrate the market. After that, you're just basically going to be getting tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 sort of projects.
Such a great insight. Wow, love it. Moving on to the NFT side, guys. From the NFT, as I was mentioning, we have seen a rapid move, and we have also seen quite a few different marketplaces which has emerged, out of the blue. Especially the platforms like INO offerings, which is initial NFT offerings that are being out there. How, from a credibility point of view and also as a VC fund, for the projects who are doing an NFT raise, what are the key items that you would be looking at? And how would you rate these new launch pads or the platforms that are coming out every next day? How would you differentiate yourself?
It's a hard question because I am not so much into NFTs. Even I have one of the biggest collection on OpenSea, so I'm getting so much free tokens at the moment, so much free pictures, So honestly, I don't know, because for NFTs, I'm just want to see some user case, if you are not like art collector, you know, and you are not really enjoying some pictures, then what, you know? So you just wait that somebody will be more stupid than you to buy it more expensive from you, you know, if there is not any user case. So I'm waiting, maybe it will be going to some loyalty points, you know, like we have some loyalty cards in the future, you know, something like that. I would like to see some progress. And also, it is not very user-friendly also for the people, you know, for normal folks to come and buy NFT and then secure the wallet and everything, you know, to understand the...
It's like finding needle in the stag. So no, definitely. No, point taken. Andy, would you say the same?
I think NFTs you have to look at, if you are a platform, for example, you should look at what are the kind of tokenomics that's behind it. You know, what are the rights that you have when you hold on to that NFT. You know, a lot of these maybe version 1 kind of NFT, they do not really have very good utility. You know, it's just a piece of picture where you really like it. You know, moving forward to today, you know, you have a very clear line, you know, drawn between things that are music, you know, music copyright. You know, you can even look at things from a very extreme end, you know, where people are looking at putting on NFTs as a form of a property title deed, right? Yep. So it is not as simple as before, but again, if you are looking at things that are more, you know, more fun and so forth, it also depends on how your tokenomics is going to give back to the users. Yeah. You know, like what LooksDrag is doing versus what OpenSea is doing. There's a lot of different tokenomics and different schemes that we can really adopt and get ourselves into. So those interesting stuff is going to draw in new players, and that's where the real economy lies.
So looking at the economics of the tokenomics that are quite important. And from your side, Vinny?
Yeah, I mean, the problem right now with NFTs is the major use case is speculation and money laundering. The other use case that's developing now is basically as an online flex. It's basically akin to buying a luxury watch. You know, it serves no real purpose in today's world, but it's really about having an online profile, right? And that's why people purchase them. Obviously, the only utility that currently exists is game-based NFTs. Axie being a good example. You need to purchase the NFT to actually play the game. There are a couple of AAA-rated games coming out in the next 2 years, and I think that will really bring about NFT adoption, since that's an obvious use case. Everything else is really arbitrary at this point in time.
No, makes sense. Really good insight. And in the NFT side itself, like, you know, understanding it further, so let's say a project comes to you guys as a VC fund, you guys really like the project, you qualified from the investment point of view, but product is good, services that they are providing, utility does match up, but there are projects which are missing an important or the critical point, which is on the marketing side, and there's not much awareness out there, like, you know, how do they actually bring, because for a general public, right, like, you know, what exactly is NFT? Sometimes it's very hard to explain. So from a crypto and non-crypto user base, where do you guys see the adoption of the NFT in the next 2 to 3 years? And what sort of marketing strategies they should adopt, like, you know, going forward to ensure that the project is successful as per the roadmap? What do you think?
It's hard to say. Of course, everybody would like to know what will happen in the future. You know, we are also thinking what will be the next big thing in crypto. You know, it's the most important question, you know, to identify the opportunities. But I would like to, I think that maybe we will see a lot of luxury brands coming into NFT space. Yeah. So I don't know how they will sell it. You can maybe buy some jewelry, you know, it will be like real product, plus you will have also NFT, you know, plus that. And together, maybe it has higher price in the future, or you can get maybe some discount for the future projects if you are the owner, you know. But it's like very hard, you know, when you go outside to the shop, like how you provide with your phone that you are a real owner of the NFTs, you know. You just make screenshot, you know, or the picture of that, or how you do it, you know. Or through the MetaMask, you know, it will be very expensive for Ethereum probably.
No, good point.
It's complicated, you know, but maybe the new chains, you know, like now I invest a little bit into some NFTs on Cosmos, on Stargaze, you know, and others, something on Phantom. We will see. I don't know.
And Andy, on your side, like, where do you see the NFT adoption in the next 2 to 3 years?
I think it's very much aligned with what Vinny has mentioned. You know, I think in terms of gaming, that will be one of the biggest use case, and it has one of the biggest user base, $1 trillion. I think gaming will be the leader for good use cases. And then when we talk about gaming and so forth, it also incorporates with metaverse, like what Roblox is like and so forth. You can even have some card trading games and so forth at the site. There's a lot of things that can happen, using the gaming arena, right?
No, completely makes sense. Vinny, from your point of view, what would be the differentiating factor before you would invest in an NFT project going forward?
Well, I don't invest in NFT projects, firstly. I do invest in games that have NFTs. But the most important thing is about having an in-game economy. That's the reason why NFTs, when it comes to gaming, has an obvious use case. Outside of that, nothing actually exists in terms of an economy, right, apart from the global economy. So yeah, it's really about having the community and the user base and the economy already functioning well. And without that, the whole thing collapses, right?
No, completely makes sense. Last question, very quickly. Is there any differentiating projects that you guys are seeing today that you would like to provide an insight on, or is there any projects in the DeFi or NFT space that you guys are bullish on that you can share with the public?
I am quite bullish on Gameium, Game Lounge, and some metaverse projects, because I think they have still potential. And I also like the idea of the land sales, but it also takes some time, to develop it in good way, to see some profit on it, like maybe Polka Fantasy also, Japanese gaming project with NFTs. It's very interesting.
Makes sense. Andy, have you seen any?
I think it has to be a combination.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a bit crazy, from an institutional standpoint. I think that, like meme tokens, for example, it can be a Kishu Inu, for example, or it can be a Shiba, it can be XR Doge, for example. All those meme coins with big communities, should act as a base, for all these gaming companies work together, coexist, and of course, if they think that they are really big, well, they don't coexist. They can produce their own games, produce quality games. I think those are the things that I do see, having a good pump or having a good run, in the next 1 year, man.
Yeah. Really, you don't invest in NFTs as such, but in DeFi space?
Yeah, look, I do a lot of game investments, but I think to answer your question, really, infrastructure play is always the safest. 2 years ago, nobody spoke about cross-chain, multi-chain, layer 2 scaling solutions. Last year, it was the absolute biggest thing. I see EVM chains as like a diesel engine. It's going to get replaced by electric cars, and that future is all multi-party computation. And if you look to the institutional players, for example, Credo, 65 million investment, Alio, 200 million investment, Concordium, started by the founder of Saxo Bank, $500 million investment. Nearly anybody I speak to outside of America doesn't even know about these projects. These are the sort of projects that are going to be taking over the market. Batisha, one of our portfolio projects, they are the co-inventors of MPC, $47 million raise. Basically, these chains bring private and public transactions on-chain, and this is what's going to lead to enterprise adoption. I believe these projects in the next 2 years are going to take over the market.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys, for giving us a great insight within the DeFi and the NFT sector and what's coming next. Really appreciate your time, guys, and I'm sure everyone would have learned more about this sector today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you also.
Thanks.